Hello friends, welcome back to Smart Message Tech Study. In this video, we are discussing Java technical interview questions. This video is part 2. In part 1, I have covered the core Java concepts up to not 5, up to 12 important questions I have covered, and oops, in object-oriented programming, I have covered up to 10 most critical and most frequently asked questions. If you have not watched that video, go to description that is present in first one. So before starting the video, hit a like, subscribe and share. So in this video, we are discussing data structures and algorithms and exception handling as well as multi-threaded programming questions. So make sure watch the video till the end and do not forget to subscribe and share to your up to 5 technical friends. So without further wasting time, let's get into the main topic. So the concept is the important questions, basically data structures and algorithms. So the first question is, why are strings immutable in Java? Basically, string has collection of letters, collection of data, collection of characters. In technical terms, string is defined as collection of characters. So the question is, why are strings immutable in Java? Basically, the storage area in the Java heap is specifically used to store string literals with the aim of reducing the creation of temporary string objects through sharing. For sharing to be possible, an immutable class is required. Also, no external synchronization of threads is required. If the string objects are immutable, in hash tables and hash maps, keys are string objects and should thus be immutable to avoid modification. Hope you have understood this question as well as answer. Moving forward, what is the differences between creating a string using new method or new keyword and as a literal? So if you create a string using new method, then a new object is created in the heap memory. Basically, string is equal to new string method we close. In basic, this is a formal way to create a string as by using new method. So that created object is stored in the heap memory, even if that value is already present in the heap memory. If we create a string using string literal and its value already exists in the string pool, then that string variable also points to the same value in the string pool without the creation of new string with that value. So in string literal, what happens is that does not have any copy of the item. It only if we create again string s equal to some data, string s1 equal to same again data, then in string pool it points to the first one created, does not have copy of the values. Hope you have understood. So now the next question is, what is the collection framework? The collection framework is a set of interfaces and classes that provide common data structures such as lists, sets and maps. So collection framework is widely used in Java developer role. So the collection framework is basically found in java.util.package. There are various types of collection frameworks such as array list, set, map, hash map. In list, under list category, array list, linked list, and other type of lists are there. Set, hash map also there. So various kinds of collection frameworks are present in order to make our development easy, makes our Java development programming will familiarize and easy and quickly develop applications. So now, what is differences between array list and linked list? Basically, array list and linked list comes under the list interface. It extends a list interface. Array list is a dynamic array that can grow or shrink as needed. So array list is compared to array list is little bit slow, but the advantage is that array list can be grow or shrink. I mean, we can increase the size of the array list or decrease based on our need, but in array we have to define the fixed size. If we define the 10 blocks of size, then we use 5, then memory wastage will be occurred. While linked list is a double linked list that allows first instruction and deletion of element. So fast insertion and deletion of elements will be happen in linked list. Now, what is the differences between a hash map and a tree map? Basically, hash map has hash key and hash values. A hash table is a hash table that stores key value pairs, as I discussed today, while tree map is a red black tree that stores key value pairs in sorted order. So you have to understand one thing. in hash map the values will be stored in unsorted order. In tree map the values will be stored in sorted order, but in hash map key value is there, in tree map also key value pair is there. So that is the common difference. So next one is, what is the differences between a hash set, sorry, I have discussed that. Next question, what is the difference between a iterator and a list iterator? Basically iterator is an enhanced for loop. So has what is it? Yes, okay, I have to show, yeah, seventh question. Iterator is used to traverse a collection in a forward direction. So iterator, as you know, it works like a for loop, enhanced for loop it is also known as. While list iterator is used to traverse list iterator it traverses forward direction, as well as list iterator is used for both forward and backward directions. If you traverse the elements in both the manner, then you can prefer list iterator, or else in traditional manner you can choose iterator or for loop. Now the question is, what is the difference between an array list and linked list? So array list and linked list, as I have already discussed. So moving forward, so array list is a dynamic nature, as you know, but the answer is different. Accessing an element in array list is big of on average, while accessing an element in linked list is big of an average. The interviewer might ask you what is the access time. When you access the element in array list with an average, you have to say big of n, as well as in linked list you have what is the element in accessing time of, in average case you have to tell big of n. So what is the purpose of the comparable interface? Basically the comparable interface is used to provide natural ordering for a class. It contains a single method compare to method that compares the current object with another object of the same class and returns a negative integer, 0 or a positive integer, depending on whether the current object is less than, equal to or greater than the other object respectively. Take a snippet of this question. This is most repeatedly asked in most of the interviews such as TCS, Infosys, Capgemini, Accenture and HCL. Most of the top tech and product based companies, this question is widely asked. So what is the differences between hash set and tree set? This question is also discussed moving forward, but the while tree set uses a balanced binary tree. Hash set is as I discussed an unordered collection of unique elements. Hash set has unique elements. That means hash set does not contain duplicate element. So that's the major difference. Tree set is sorted collection of unique. Tree set is also unique, stores unique elements, but tree set data is sorted. So if you want to traverse elements, if you want to find out the AEIOU in a sequence of letters, then you can use the hash set because it does not contain duplicate values. You might use a tree set for sorted collection of data, sorted collection of unique elements in trivial purpose. Tree set uses a balanced binary tree, as you know. Now the question is, what is the purpose of Java util concurrent package? Basically Java util concurrent package provides classes for concurrent programming, including thread pools, locks, atomic variables and concurrent collections. It is used to improve performance and scalability in multi-threaded applications. So basically concurrent package is used in multi-threaded applications. It includes thread pools, lock, atomic variables and concurrent collection. It is basically improved or developed for performance utilization, performance and scalability purpose. It up the performance and enlarge the scalability. So now the questions will be asked from exception handling. So exception point of view, basically what is exception? Exception is an abnormal event which disrupts the flow of an execution. So in formal way, an exception is an event that occurs during the execution of a program that disrupts the normal flow of instruction. That normal flow of execution will be interrupted. Next question is, how does an exception propagate throughout the Java code? When an exception occurs, it tries to locate the matching catch block. So in try we use catch block. If the exception is occurred, that exception will be stored in catch block. If the matching catch block is located, then that block is executed. Otherwise the exception propagates through the method call stack and goes into the caller method, where the process of matching the catch block is performed. This happens until the matching catch block is found, and case the match is not found. If the class in the case the match is not found, the program gets terminated in the main method. Hope you have understood this question. Moving forward, What is the differences between checked and unchecked exceptions? Basically, checked exceptions are exceptions which occur at compile time, while unchecked exceptions are occurred in runtime. It does not find out. It does not will be available in checked in compile time. When we compile the code, it does not visible. While unchecked that are called unchecked exceptions. However, we make the good programming practice will be we have to make unchecked exceptions will be checked exception by following through some tactics and some methods. Basically, now I will explain what are the checked exceptions as well as unchecked exceptions. So basically the checked exceptions are class not found exception, IO exception, SQL exception, etc. are the examples of checked exceptions. Now we will see unchecked exceptions. Okay, unchecked, what are the four unchecked? Yeah, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, array index out of bounds exception, number format exception. The interviewer might ask you in depthly about what are the unchecked exceptions. You have to tell unchecked exceptions are arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, and array index out of bounds exception, number format exception. As well as they will ask you what are the checked exceptions. You will have to tell the checked exception are class not found exception, IO exception, SQL exception, etc. are the different types of exceptions in Java. Okay, now what is the use of try catch block in Java? Basically, try and catch blocks is used for handling exceptions. Exception, if you got an exception, try block will catch the exception. Try block will find out. If the exception is find out, it will be caught in catch block. If not, it will be executed a try block. So that is the main reason to implement try catch block in Java. So now the next question is, what is the differences between throw and throws? Throw will be used in exception, while throws is used to declare a method that can potentially throw an exception. Throw is multi-threading. Throw is an exception point of view will be used, and throws will be used to declare a method that can potentially throw an exception. So now what is the use of finally block? Basically, finally is used at final. Finally block is used to execute a block of code regardless of whether an exception is thrown or not. If the final is the last block, after that does not have any blocks. Now the question is, what is the base class of all exceptions? In Java, java.lang.throwable is the super class of all exception. So interviewer might ask you base class of all exception. You have to told java.long.throwable is the super class of all exception, and all exception classes are derived from this base class. Now what is Java EE? That means Java Enterprise Edition. Basically, Java Enterprise Edition is used for developing web applications APIs. Informal way is a set of specifications and APIs for developing enterprise applications. In Java, it includes a range of technologies such as servlets, JSP, EJBS, servlet JSPs, and JDBC is also evolved from Java EE. JDBC is a popular concept for connecting Java program to databases. So in most of the tech companies, Java EE will be used. Along with that, Spring Boot is also used. Now the question is, what is the differences between a servlet and JSP? Basically, servlet and JSP are the J2EE, that means Java Enterprise Application Concepts. Servlet is a Java class that processes HTTP requests and generates HTTP responses. Servlet class that processes HTTP requests and generate HTTP responses. As you know, HTTP requests are HTTP colon some name, HTTP colon / like that it will start. A JSP, which stands for Java Server Pages, is a text-based document that is compiled into a servlet. JSPs, that means Java Server Pages, allows for a separation of presentation logic from business logic. So it forms a separation between presentation logic and business logic. It is basically used for Separation purpose. It is a text-based document compiled into a servlet. Okay. So now what is the differences between stateful and stateless session beans? Now what is the differences between stateful and stateless session beans? So now the Java persistence API. Now the question is, what is the purpose of Java persistence API? Basically, the Java persistence API is a specification for object relational mapping (ORM). Object relational mapping for JPI is used in Java. It provides a set of interfaces and annotations for mapping Java objects to relational database tables and vice versa. That means relational database tables to Java objects. That purpose JPA will be used. JPA stands for Java Persistence API. It is a ORM tool, which means object relational mapping specification tool. Now we will see what is the difference between stateful and stateless session beans. Mark it as very important. It is asked more lakhs of interviews. So now we will see. Stateful session beans maintain a conversational state with the client, while stateless session beans it does not maintain any conversational state. Okay, stateful sessions beans are used for long running conversations with the client, while stateless session beans are for short lived tasks. So in summary, stateless sessions are used for short lived tasks, while stateful services session will be used for long running conversations. Stateful session maintains a conversational state with the client, that means user. Stateless session does not maintain conversational state. So that is the basic and major difference between both of them. Hope you have understood. Now we will see top 5 most important multi-threading questions. Basically, what is a thread and what are the different stages in its life cycle? Basically, thread is a lightweight process that can run concurrently with other threads in a program. Java thread lifecycle has 5 stages. The interviewer might ask you what are the 5 stages involved in thread lifecycle. You have to tell new, runnable, running, non-runnable, that means blocked, waiting, and terminated. Now the next question is, what is the differences between process and thread? Basically, a program is execution is called process. As you know, thread. We will see more specific exam. As I told, a process is a program in execution, while a thread is subset of process. If you divide the process subtasks, if you conquer the process, then each part of the process is called a thread. Threads share memory, while process do not share memory. Third question is, what are the different types of thread priorities available in Java? So there are total of 3 different types of priority available in Java. That is min priority, integer value is 1, max priority, integer value is 10, norm priority, integer value is 5. The interviewer might ask you, what is the priority, max priority, integer value? You have to say 10. If he asks norm priority, integer value, you have to 5. So remember this point, integer values. These are most critical. It will be asked specifically in interview. Okay, now what is context switching in Java? Oh, it is a famous question. A context switching in Java is the process of switching from one thread to another by the operating system scheduler. During the context switching, the current thread's context, including its register values and program counter, are saved, and the next thread context is restored. Okay, hope you understood. I will repeat once again. Context switching in Java is the process of switching from one thread to another. If we move one thread to another, it is called context switching in operating system scheduler. During context switching, the current thread context, including its register values and program counter, are saved, but that don't think that is not saved, but it is saved, and the next thread's context is restored. Next thread context will be restored. Now the last question is, what is the difference between user threads and daemon threads? So basically, in Java, user threads have a specific life cycle, and its life cycle is independent of any other threads and are used for critical tasks. A daemon thread are basically referred to as a service provider that provides services and support to user threads. It has a service provider acts as a daemon thread. It provides services to the user thread. JVM does not wait for daemon threads to finish the task before termination, but waits for user threads. If you terminate user threads, the daemon threads will be automatically terminated. If you terminate daemon threads, the user thread will not affect. When only user threads will be deleted or terminated, then daemon threads will be terminated. Hope you have understood all questions. This is all about Java questions with the answers to crack technical interview part 2. Before ending this video, hit a like, subscribe and share. Don't forget to watch the part 1 video that might very helpful you. Then for this is also very helpful. Combine both parts and watch together. This is for now. Thanks for watching. We will meet in another upcoming super latest video. Until then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.